All right, so I've had my Focal Alpha 65s for about a month now, and I am absolutely in love with them. And before I get into why I love them so much, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. So the biggest thing I was curious about was I knew they'd sound better than my BX8As, but I was curious by how much and in what way they would sound better than my budget monitors. I mixed on my M-Audio BX8As for, my gosh, maybe a decade, so I was so used to the way they sounded, but the problem I was having with them was my ears would get so tired after a while because of the harshness of them. So I was hoping these new Focal Alpha 65s, that would not be an issue. So I'm not going to be playing music from them for you to hear on my microphone through your speakers, whatever you're listening to it on. It's pointless to try to show how good they sound when you're in the end just going to listen to them through your speakers. So basically I'm going to be going over things I love and why you should buy these monitors right now. So right off the bat, I wanted to hear how they sounded before I hooked them up with my sub. So I took time and I played with the roll-offs in the back, boosted them, cut them, and really got familiar with what those were doing to the overall sound of the speakers. And if you're someone who's looking for a studio monitor that you don't have to run a sub with, these guys, when I rolled the low end up, I was so impressed by how much low end they had. I mean, I was blown away. I didn't realize how bad my BX8As were on the low end until I hooked up these Focal Alpha 65s. So if you're someone who's mixing in an apartment or a small room, these things will have all the low end that you need. So once I got playing with the boosts and roll-offs on the back of the speakers themselves, I went and hooked them up to my sub and started playing some tracks. And everything I've read, and even in the instruction manual, say you want to really warm the speakers up and give them a while to kind of break in. So in my head, this is the worst they're ever gonna sound. And holy shit, did they sound good right out of the box. I couldn't believe the depth you could hear with them. I've never experienced that with any other studio monitors I've ever listened on with a track that I'm super familiar with. I was listening to a lot of my favorite rock, rap, alternative, pop tracks on there, and I was hearing things in the mix I've never ever heard before. Pairing snaps with snare hits, and just there's so much depth to these speakers. To this moment, I'm blown away by it. And on top of that, I run a PreSonus T10 sub, and they seem to just match with that so much better than my old BX8As. Infinitely better. So of course I pulled up an old mix that I thought I was happy with, and oh my gosh, I found so many flaws in my mix, it was embarrassing. I can't even begin to explain just how much better these sound with when you're EQing things. You can hear everything so much better, and the depth you can hear in your mixing is so much better. So that is probably my favorite thing about them, is just the depth that you can hear sonically with them that I've never heard before. I'm still blown away by it. Another thing I absolutely love about them is the automatic power on and power off feature. Let's say you step away from your computer for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and the next thing you know, you're away from your computer for hours. The auto off feature will turn them off after a little while with no signal going to them. And I absolutely love that feature so much. One thing I hate about my BX8As, I would get distracted, go wander off. I love that feature so much. I always hated getting distracted, wandering off with my old studio monitors on and coming back hours later. And just the thought of all those unused hours on those amps and everything, just, I didn't like it. And of course, once they sense a signal again, they kick right back on and you're back to exactly where you were. It's fantastic. The build quality in them are absolutely phenomenal from what I've been able to tell so far. I've really just kind of taken them out of the box and put them in the stands, and they are sturdy. They don't feel cheap. I'm not a studio monitor expert, but I cannot believe these things only costed $800, which makes me wonder how much better are the focal shapes. If I ever get tired of these, which I don't know if I will or not, I might have to upgrade, but I think I am a focal audio person from here on out. So to recap, the low end on these things are absolutely phenomenal. You do not need a sub with them, but if you do, it does enhance just a little bit. 2, which is probably my favorite thing, is just the depth you hear when mixing, and my ears do not get as tired anymore. I can mix for probably twice as long, which I try not to do, but I can mix so much longer now on these speakers, and I hear so much better. And even my car mixes are instantly improved dramatically. And of course, the auto off feature I'm in love with. The build quality is fantastic. I cannot say enough great things about the Focal Alpha 65s. I am in love with them. They're amazing. So thank you for watching this video. Please comment below if you're in love with your Focal Alpha 65s, or if you're thinking about buying them, or if you have other studio monitors that you think are better, or you're interested in other ones. I don't know, let's just get a conversation going, because I am so curious. My eyes have been opened to what a good pair of studio monitors can do for you. Holy crap. All right, until next time, adios.